Welcome back to Treadmill Review Guru. Today we are going to take a look at the Peloton Tread. This is the new treadmill from Peloton. You can see it has more of a traditional design. It replaces the recalled Tread Plus, which was like a slat-belt treadmill. So it's a little more of a standard design, but still has that unique Peloton flair with that floating touchscreen, nice 24-inch display there. So let's jump in and take a close look at this new treadmill. Here at Treadmill Review Guru, we try to provide you information that helps you make an informed buying decision. We go into details and specs and things that you would want to know as a user. So if you find our content valuable, we would love it if you would take a minute to subscribe to our channel and like this video. And that gives us great feedback so we can continue to provide you information in the future. So first, let's take a close look at who we recommend this treadmill for. Obviously, I think that Peloton owners, if you already have a bike in your home, this would be a great addition to that home gym because one Peloton subscription will cover both a bike and a tread. So you don't have to pay for an additional subscription. It will also cover multiple users in your home. You have unlimited profile options with one subscription. So that's nice. I really think Peloton users will like it. It's also a really good option for people that want to try Peloton, but maybe they're not a cyclist. If you're a runner, and so you just love treadmills, you're looking for something that's going to do running, walking, hiking, things like that. You get the same great Peloton user interface with content and engaging instructors, only in treadmill form. So people will like it if they're looking for that option. It is unique in a few ways. So it actually looks like it's a rather compact treadmill. However, the footprint is comparable to folding treadmills that we have here at the studio, but this one doesn't fold up. So I would recommend this treadmill for people who have dedicated floor space because you're not going to be able to fold it up when it's not in use. You set it where it is and that's where it stays. So that's something to be aware of. The other thing that's different with this one is it has a slightly smaller belt. Now it's not a small belt, this isn't a compact treadmill. However, the belt is 59 inches long and only 20 inches wide. So it isn't quite as wide as maybe a comparable treadmill that would be in the same price range. You're getting just a little bit, about an inch less on the length and about 2 inches less on the width. And then this is a great option for people who are looking for something to keep them engaged. Let's say you've made a commitment, you want to lose weight, but you need some guidance and direction in order to get into it. The Peloton content and any sort of interactive content has proven to be more beneficial in helping people continue to use their equipment. So even though that subscription costs a little bit extra each month, it is valuable in helping you kind of achieve your goals and maintain your fitness with engaging content. Let's take a look at the overall construction. Now, if you were familiar with the Tread Plus, which was the original Peloton treadmill, it had that slat belt. The design actually is very similar. So you have these slightly angled uprights that kind of suspend the screen up here at the front. So it's a very nice open, airy feel. Even though this has a pretty good sized footprint, it doesn't feel heavy in your room. So you can leave it set up, and even if it's not folded, it's not like it's going to be this cumbersome large piece of equipment in the corner of your room. It just kind of has a nice chic design to it. And I do like that. You've got a little bit of a coating up here along the top of the handrails where you grab, which is sweat resistant and can be easily wiped down. I also find it very comfortable. The tread belt, as I mentioned, is a little smaller than comparable ones. So you got 59 inches of length and 20 inches of width. But I do like how Peloton includes this kind of center line to help you with that running mechanics. So, you don't want to be watching your feet exclusively when you run. You want to keep that gaze up. But initially, when you're getting started, this kind of helps you establish a good foot pattern, make sure that those toes are pointing forward, that you don't have ankle inversion, things like that. So I do kind of like the fact that it's got that cool little strip there in the middle. You have nice side rails, which provide plenty of room to step off. They're not quite as textured as other treadmills, and so I wonder if you are really sweaty and dripping down, if these could possibly become slick. We haven't had that problem yet, but it is something that I would wonder if that would be a possibility simply because there's just a little less texture on these as compared to other treadmills. You do have the option of rolling and moving the treadmill if you need to. Now the treadmill itself weighs about 290 pounds. So we recommend setting it up where you want it and leave it there. But it does have a nice grab bar here at the bottom. So and it has nice wheels at the top that really engage when you tip that treadmill. So if you need to angle it up and roll it just a little bit, you can. I don't recommend planning on moving it regularly. It's not the type of treadmill that was designed to be moved around a room. Just kind of set it up where you plan to move it. But I do like the fact that it does have that really nice grab bar there at the bottom of the belt. Your low step up height is a nice feature for anyone that has maybe some mobility issues. This is only 8 inches, so it's one of the lower to the floor treadmills. There's no decline, so that's probably why. If you do have decline in a treadmill, typically they set the deck up higher to allow for that decline option. But this makes it a good option for users that maybe don't have a lot of knee flexion or limited hip mobility. Overall, as I mentioned, the treadmill itself weighs 290 pounds, and Peloton gives a weight range on this, which I really like. So they recommend 105 pounds as your minimum weight and 300 pounds as your maximum weight. They also recommend a minimum age of 16 years old. So they're kind of giving you some parameters as to who the treadmill is designed for. Basically adult size users. You know, if you're 100 pounds or more up to 300, it's not recommended for children, and they have incorporated some really valuable safety features that we'll go over in a minute to help keep people safe on the treadmill. And just like the original treadmill, the original Tread Plus, it features the same adjustment knobs. So I'll demo how those work during the functionality section, but you've got speed on the right, incline on the left, and then jump buttons in the middle. They're kind of a nice handhold, and they have just a bit of grip on them so that when you move them, they don't get slick in your hand, especially if you're a little bit sweaty. Peloton has a pretty good warranty on this. So you've got 12 months of coverage on the screen, and then the frame, motor, and belt are all covered by a 5-year warranty. Components, which would probably be your jump buttons and a few other things, are a 12-month warranty. The other nice thing I like about Peloton is the price includes both delivery and setup. So they will do a white glove setup for you. So we didn't have to put this together at all. And that's a really nice feature. So let's take a closer look at the overall functionality of the Peloton Tread. Now, as I mentioned, they have added some very valuable safety features. The first one is after 60 seconds of non-use, the treadmill screen automatically goes dark, and you have to input a code to be able to turn it back on. So like on the other treadmill, if somebody just walked up on the deck and played with the knobs or whatever, it would start the treadmill. This, it won't. I can touch everything up here and it's not gonna start until I put in that passcode, and then it's going to bring up a user profile. So you have a few more steps before that belt is gonna start. So let me just start this here. I'll just start a class and we'll jump right in, and you can kind of see how it goes. Of course, you've got all your different options as far as Peloton classes and stuff. It's really quick. They've enhanced the processor speed on the new model, and so it responds really pretty quickly. You can see right here at the beginning of class, the belt doesn't start yet. The instructor provides an intro, and she's going to give me an overview of the class, and then she's also going to give me some important safety precautions. Make sure that you have your safety belt attached to yourself so that if you if you have some sort of accident or injury or step off that treadmill, it's going to automatically stop the belt. That's a safety feature. It also has a nice large stop button right here, so at any point in the workout, I can hit the stop button. Another feature is if I step off the belt, let's say I take a call or I look at my watch or adjust something, then it will stop after about 60 seconds. So, you've got a little window there if you're taking a quick break, but after 60 seconds, it's just the belt's gonna stop and it's gonna pause. So let's jump in here and get started on a quick warm up. So you can hear the belt underneath. You got a little bit of a sliding movement on there. Just a touch of foot noise, not too much. The motor itself is very quiet. So I would say the predominant noise that you're gonna hear when you turn it on isn't the motor, it's actually that belt sliding across the top of the deck. So, and as I mentioned earlier, I really kind of like these red lines. They help you stay positioned appropriately directly in front of that console. So here on the left, if I want to increase my incline, I can hit that jump button and it will take me up by 1 metric. So, and then I do have the option of increasing by 0.5 incline with the knob. If I roll the knob forward, and if I roll the knob back, it's gonna take it back. So I'm gonna take it all the way up. We'll go up to a 12.5% incline, so you can see how much the top of the deck lifts. So that's your top incline right there. And this is plenty to kick that heart rate up there. So, you know, comparable treadmills might go up to 15. Some incline trainers will go up to 40. So this isn't quite as high, but it does give you certainly a challenge with lots of variables in between. So up here, let me add just a little bit of speed. And once again, to increase speed, I roll the dial forward on the right. And then if I want to jump it to the next level metric, I click the jump button. Now that doesn't take me up a full level. So if I'm at 3.3 and click the jump button, it's gonna take me to 4, but it's not gonna take me to 4.3. So it just takes you to whatever the next level of speed is. So 2, 3, 4, whatever. You do, however, have the option of adjusting here on the screen some preset levels. If I want to take it up, you know, let's say my ideal walking pace is 3.2, my ideal running pace is 7.4, then I can set those in there, especially if you're doing like interval work, and you can quickly hit one and then hit the other, and it will allow you to toggle back and forth. So I do like that feature as well. And then if I want to slow it down, or if I want to turn it down, I just roll those knobs back towards me. Now the jump button only takes you up, it doesn't take you down. So that's one thing to be aware of. So let me just run here for you for a second. I'm gonna drop that incline down to about a 5. So this is 5% grade. And I'm walking right here. I'll jump it up to about a 6 mile an hour running pace. So you can hear that motor really is pretty quiet. You're not hearing the motor. You got a little bit of foot noise, but it's not bad. So I'm gonna take it up to 7. And let's do 8. Nine. So as you can see, it's really pretty quiet. You got a little bit of foot noise, but not bad. It supports your speed really well. I'm not sure if you can tell from where the camera is, but after about 8 miles an hour, so like a 7.5 minute mile, when you drop below that, when you go faster than that, you do kind of get a little bit of screen wobble up here. It's not bad. I think you notice it more if you're up on the treadmill, but it's just something to be aware of, kind of inherent to the design, the kind of floating design. So here we've got Matthew on the Peloton Tread. Matthew's about 6'5" and 225-ish, right? Something like that. So just to give you an idea of how it sounds, how it functions with different size users. So right now Matthew is at a level incline and he's walking at 3 miles an hour. So you can see it's really supportive. You don't have any bounce under the deck. And it feels pretty supportive. How is it on size?
It's fine. I feel like I've got plenty of space.
Okay, you don't feel like you're short back there? You got a nice room?
While I'm walking, yeah, I feel like I've got plenty of length.
Okay, okay. All right, so we're gonna have Matthew pick up his pace. What do you wanna do, 6 miles an hour?
Yeah.
All right. So again, not much motor noise at all. You don't hear a big loud whirring in the background. The only thing you hear is kind of his foot pattern as that belt presses down against the deck. That's what you're hearing the most. I'm not sure if you can see, but you do have a bit more screen wobble simply because Matthew's a larger user. All right, you want to take it up a little? Let's try 7 miles an hour. All right, and then we'll do 8 miles an hour. Okay, there we go. Nice, nice. 8 miles an hour, 7.5 mile pace. A little bit of screen wobble, but otherwise pretty stable underfoot. All right, so let's take a look at the Peloton Tread console. This is probably one of the nicest features on the Tread simply because it's such a high quality, high definition console. So you can see you've got nice space here. This is 23.8 inches from corner to corner. I've been saying 24 just to round up for simplicity, but you do have a lot of visual room right here, and it's very engaging. So I feel like the screen is appropriately placed with regards to your position on the Tread. You're gonna stand back just a touch, so it's still easy to reach if you need to, but it's not right in your face. It also will tilt up and down, so you can adjust that tilt, which is nice. Let's just kind of go over the user interface here. So I have just a running program going. You can see the crisp high definition screen. It's very, very clear and it's very responsive. And then there's a few functionality features about Peloton that I really appreciate when you're on the treadmill. I like the fact that it gives you an outline of how, you know, the overall, so you're gonna run for 35 minutes. This over here was your warm up. This is your time remaining. If I don't want to see that, I can drop it down. It will still tell me time remaining, but I can also bring it back if I do want to see how far into class I am. Over here on the left, if you hit that little music button, it will bring up the current song. You can favorite it if you have certain songs that you like, that you want to hear more of, and then it will slide off. Over here on the right, you've got your leaderboard, obviously. And so that just pops in. If you want, you can also pop it out. If you don't, you can filter things for all time, here, now. And then you can add other filters based on age, location, just me, top tags, things like that. So you can kind of adjust that filter board or that leaderboard however you want it. You can also get rid of it if it's in your way. Down here, Peloton has updated their user interface to have a few more features. One of them is this closed captions that kind of scroll there at the bottom of the screen. I really, really like those. I don't like to have to turn the volume all the way up in order to be able to hear the instructor. So I can hear more music, less instructor, but I still know what she's saying. I still know what she's talking about. And then just in case I don't hear the cue, it's right here on the screen. So she's recommending right now that we be at an incline of 5.5 to 6.5. Okay, I've set it at nothing because I'm not moving, but that's your recommended range for that particular metric. Over here on the right, it's the same. The recommended pace right now is between 7 and 9 miles an hour. So it just kind of gives you a guide of where you should be in this moment, just in case you missed the cueing from the instructor. And then down here are your metrics for your run. So you've got your incline, output, measures your watts, and then your pace is down here at the bottom, and of course you have speed off to the right. And then right here at the bottom, it gives you the cumulative for each of those. So this is your total elevation, this is your total output in kilojoules, your total calories for this particular workout, and your total distance. So this is kind of your current output, and this is the cumulative for the whole run. If you want to get rid of it, you just drop it down at the bottom, and then you don't have to worry about it. The volume buttons are over here on the side. So if I want to turn up that volume, I can. I can also turn it down. And of course, you can adjust it so that you can get more music, you can get more instructor, or you can maintain that original mix. Once you adjust it, then when you maintain that volume, it's going to hold whatever balance you've set it at. So that's that. And then to turn on the screen, the power button is actually right there on the back. Also on the back, they do have a USB-C port, so you can plug in and charge like a phone or something like that. There's also a headphone jack on the back of that screen. So your headphones would kind of come up this way. If you don't have a wireless option, I would definitely recommend looking at a wireless option. Being tethered to the screen is not something that I would recommend. Down here, you do have a place that you can drop a water bottle or a phone. It's not super heavy as far as, it's not like it's just a piece of plastic, but it will support pretty much most water bottles. I think the size would be maybe your biggest limiting factor, and you can drop keys in there if you need to. Your stop button's right here in the front, as is your safety key. So you just pull that out, attach it to your clothing, and then if you step off the treadmill or it becomes detached in some way, the belt will automatically stop. Over here on the right, you got your incline knob. So I press it up there, and you're gonna see it's gonna, here, I'll pull these up so you can see. So I'm gonna increase my incline by pressing that knob forward. My only minor complaint with this would be that you're kind of guessing when you roll it, how far you're gonna move it, where you're gonna end up. So there's a little bit of guesswork. The more you use it, the more intuitive it becomes. And then if you wanna jump it up to the next level metric, you just hit that jump button and it will take you higher. And then to take it down, you just roll it back towards you. The jump button does not take you backwards, it only takes you up. The same is true of the speed on the right. So if I want to increase that speed, I just roll the dial forward. And then if I want to jump to the next level, mile per hour, I just hit that jump button and it will pull me up one. Now you can see right here as I've done this, it's pulled up some preset buttons right here on the side. Those are customizable. So like I mentioned earlier, you can set your ideal walking pace, your moderate running pace, and your high running pace if you want to do interval workouts. That way you can just toggle quickly between the two and it's very easy. One thing that I wanted to point out about the interface that they've added recently that I really like is you have these instructor-led outdoor runs. So they only have 4 right now. I'm sure they'll add more as time goes on. But you can see that you can select a location that's led by a specific instructor and they will run along with you. These are all timed runs, which means that this run is going to be a 20-minute run from beginning to end as you follow along with Selena in New Mexico. Now down here you have the option of selecting a distance run. These are not instructor guided, so it's just you, but let's start one. Let's go to Oahu because who doesn't want to run in Oahu? So right here, one thing that I like about this is the faster you run, the faster the screen is going to go. It is actually going to match your pace because this is not a timed run, it's a distanced run, which means that if you want to run, I think this is, yeah, we did a 5-kilometer run. So if you want to run these 3.2 miles at a really quick pace, then I've stepped off so I can talk. So that's why that's there. But you can see the video kind of goes a little faster. So let me go faster, faster. You can see how that video kind of goes faster. So you will actually shorten the length of the run the faster you run, because just like if you were running outdoors, if you're running a faster pace, you're going to finish that 5K faster than if you're running a slow pace. So I actually really liked that. I thought that that was really cool that you can adjust not only how quickly you run on the treadmill, but actually how quickly that program ends. In general, this is a really fun treadmill. Provides some really interesting features. The Peloton content is great. A few things that we love: if you already have a Peloton subscription and you appreciate the content and you have favorite instructors, many of which go back and forth between the bike and the tread, then this is a great option. You're not going to have to pay for another subscription. And in and of itself, the treadmill works fine. It feels comfortable when you're on it. The screen is very crisp and clear. I love the anti-smudge coating and the fact that it does tilt. So there's a lot of great just functional components on it. Personally, I really like the fact that those outdoor routes, like if you're going to run 10K, it will go faster. It will match your pace. So that 10K is going to be over the same time that you would finish one outdoors. So you can kind of control the flow, which is really cool. And I haven't seen that on a lot of other treadmills, especially with like a landscape video or something like that. So that was something I really liked. A few things to be aware of when you're considering this. One, it is expensive. So for what you get, if you were to spend, $2,500 on another treadmill, most likely it would have a few more features, maybe some decline, a steeper incline, might fold up. You also have like sled push features and a few other things. So it's great. You're paying a little bit more for the Peloton brand, and that's just something to be aware of right out the door. At fast paces, and if you are inclined, there is a bit of screen wobble. So I really do like this design, the way that they've just kind of created this very airy feel and the screen floats up there. But it's just light enough as far as structural components that you do get a little bit of wobble in that screen if you're going fast or if you have a heavier user. So that's something to be aware of. The belt is comfortable. It's a little bit narrower. So you would get 2 inches more width and at least an inch longer on a comparable treadmill from another brand. So it's narrow. It's not terrible. It's just slightly narrower than other ones. And you don't have quite as much cushioning. So certainly pretty much any treadmill is better than running outdoors on asphalt or concrete. So certainly better than that, but maybe not as much. If cushioning is something that is important to you, if you have joint issues, spine issues, other things, you don't have quite as much cushioning on this. So just a few things to be aware of. It does have a relatively large footprint. So it looks light and it's not, obtrusive in your room. But the footprint does take up a bit of space from, by the time you account for kind of the angle up here all the way to the end, and it doesn't fold up. So just a few things to be aware of. In general, it's very enjoyable. As always, the content is great, and the screen is really engaging and looks nice. So if you'd like more details, make sure and check out the written review at treadmillreviewguru.com. If you have any questions, leave them down below or comments. Maybe you own one. We'd love to know what you think. And as always, we aim to bring you up-to-date information on current fitness equipment that's out there on the market so that you can make an informed decision. So we would love it if you would take a minute to like our channel, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and that way we can continue to bring you great content in the future. So my name's Kristen with Treadmill Review Guru, and I'll see you again soon.